Senate President natin at napaka-importante and I support his privilege speech, but it's in connection with that, no? When Isabong happened, and now I can tell the story, that was one of the reasons that there was a clamor to remove me from the speakership because I refused to even calendar the franchise of Isabong. I knew how addictive and kung gaano kalaking problema yan, no? So ngayon, wala nang pogo, thank God, and thank you everyone here who worked on that. Having said that, pinag-iisipan pa ng Malacanang kung ano ang epekto at anong balance ng online gaming. So my question is this, because nga I'm eager to hear Senator Subiri, former Senator Subiri, but shouldn't CHED and TESDA and DepEd, not only kay Sen. Sani now, I said this during the time of VP Sara, I said this during Duterte administration, shouldn't they weigh in? Kasi can you imagine, sasabihin ng PAGCOR, we're making 50 billion. Tapos ang mga bata, tuturuan mo, kulang-kulang tayo ng mahigit 1 trillion, papayag ka sa 50 billion na kikitain, tapos ang mga bata, tuturuan mong hard work, mag-aral ka, huwag kang magsusugal. And then pag uwi nila, yung driver na sumusundo, nagsusugal. Sa church, kahit kahapon sa anong Monday, di ba? May nanonood na sabong habang binoboto yung speaker. So, do you feel, no, as one of the champions of education that despite being in the same cabinet, certain members of the cabinet that deal with our children, no, and deal with values should have a hard stand?
I agree.
Thank you.
Mr. President, just to respond to the query of the gentleman from Taguig, I agree completely. No, hindi ho dapat natin ipamigay ang kinabukasan ng mga anak natin para sa ilang bilyong buwis na makukuha natin. And I'm sure, Mr. President, this issue will be tackled here. That's the privileged speech of the gentleman from Bukidnon. And I will support all measures to ban online gambling. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Well, after hearing that, Mr. President, may I offer to transfer to Senator Bam the Committee on Science and Technology, given that this is intimately related with his advocacy of dito sa basic education. So we have agreed that he'll give me 1 year to finish some bills that I started or that all of you filed. I didn't file that, but I heard it. But after hearing him, and he was my seatmate in the first day, I think earlier is better. So if the good gentleman will just allow me to hear some of the bills we started, at the right time, I'll ask the majority leader at his discretion to transfer the chairmanship to you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And of course, the gentleman from Taguig, I'd like to extend my thanks. Salamat po, mga kasama. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Aquino. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we refer the privileged speech of Senator Bam Aquino and all the interpellations and manifestations thereon to the Committee on Basic Education. So move, Mr. President.
Is there an objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, at this juncture, the distinguished gentleman from Bukidnon, Senator Mig Zubiri, is seeking the floor to deliver his privileged speech. I move that he be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Mig Subiri is recognized to deliver his privilege speech.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. Actually, Mr. President, this is aligned also with the findings of course, the report of the EDCOM. I think we need to add, as Senator Cayetano has mentioned, the angle of gambling. Not only for the students, but also for the teachers. Alam ko, lulong na rin yung mga teachers sa iba't ibang region dito sa problemang ito. So, Mr. President, I thank you for this opportunity to stand on a personal and collective privilege today. I stand here in strong condemnation of an ugly phenomenon that has planted its roots in Philippine society. Last Monday, I would like to put on record, I was extremely disappointed that the President did not mention anything about the ills of online gambling during his State of the Nation address. Earlier this month, I filed the Anti-Online Gambling Act, together with several of my colleagues here. I believe both Senators Rafi and Erwin Tulfo, Senator Joel Villanueva, Senator Cayetano, Senator J.V. Ercito, Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senator Lauren Legarda, and Senator Robin Padilla, and many more, Mr. President, which generated a lot of interest from our people. As a matter of fact, with one post of mine, it garnered hundreds of thousands of likes and millions of views from our people. I think this was the most I've ever gotten from one of my posts alone. And although many measures that were filed were for regulation, mine, I believe, together with some of us here, are most hardline, which is a call for a total ban. Kaya po siguro talagang nag-viral ang mga headlines tungkol dito dahil halos nalunod po ako sa dami ng messages of support na natanggap ng aking opisina tungkol sa Anti-Online Gambling Act. At malinaw ang sigaw ng ating mamamayan. Tama na ang online gambling. Itigil na natin ito. Tawagin niyo na po akong sirang plaka, pero hindi ko po tatantanan ang isyong ito hanggat hindi natin tuluyan na puksa ang sakit na ito na sumisira sa buhay ng ating mga kababayan. One of the messages that really struck me was from my first press con. A mayor of mine in Bukidnon, Mayor Jimboy Angrabanes, was watching me live and texted me in support of our measure, saying that it is high time that we ban online gambling, especially since one of their constituents just recently lost his life to this. Sabi ni Mayor, isang 16-year-old varsity student daw po ang kumupit ng 100 pesos sa mga magulang niya para itaya sa online gambling. Marahil maliit lang po yung 100 pesos, pero sa ibang pamilya, lalo na sa mga liblib na purok, napakalaking halaga po nito. Ano pong nangyari? Natalo ang itinaya ng 100 pesos at para mabawi ito, sinubukan niya ulit pumusta, tumaya ulit ng 100 pesos, mula muli sa pera ng kanyang mga magulang. But we all know how this ends, Mr. President. Natalo lang po siya ulit. Sa sobrang hiya ng bata, siguro siya po ay hindi gano'ng kayaman at siguro nakuha niya po to para galing sa savings ng kanyang mga magulang. Ano pong ginawa niya? Nagpakamatay po siya, Mr. President. He was only 16 years old. This is a true story. And this is happening all over. As a matter of fact, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, the gentleman from Quezon City and Pampanga, just told me na kanyang kaibigan, yung kanyang in-law, ay napakamatay din. Correct? Empleyado mo, kamag-anak ng empleyado mo, nagpakamatay din. Hay nako, mga kababayan. Even my good friend, Kyle Jennerman, or better known as Kulas from Becoming Filipino Vlogs, also shared his sad encounter with a jeepney driver addicted to online gambling. 20 million views po yung kanyang message at shares, napakarami, million yung shares. Nakwento po ni Kulas na nakasakay daw siya sa isang jeepney nang napansin niya na si Manong driver ay tingin ng tingin sa cellphone buong pasada. Ayon pala, naglalaro na siya ng online slots at paulit-ulit daw ang pag-load ng 50 pesos para makataya ulit. Tataya, matatalo. Magsasakay ng pasahero, tataya, matatalo. Magbababa ng pasahero, walang katapusan. Lahat ng pinaghirapan ni Manong driver sa buong araw na kanyang pagmamasada, naubos sa ilang oras lamang on online gambling. Ano ngayon ang iuwi niya sa kanyang pamilya? What is really concerning about this online gambling phenomenon, Mr. President, is that it seems to thrive amongst our most vulnerable sectors. Our working class, our minimum wage earners, and even our children. This is very different from your gamblers who go to casinos. Wala po akong pakialam kung gusto niyo po mag-casino. May dala po kayong pera, punta po kayo dyan. And that is, lalabas ka talaga outside your comfort zone at pupunta po kayo dyan. Pupunta kayo na Sabungan kada linggo. Linggo lang po yan at Sabado. Ito po, yung dalawang yun, limited ang clientele nila. Sa online gambling, mga kapatid, mga kababayan na nakikinig po na yon, sa online gambling, everybody welcome. Everybody happy. Lalong-lalo na ang mga operator. At deadly ang online gambling. Dahil pwede po ito anytime, anywhere. Basta may cellphone at internet connections, pwede nang maglaro at malulong. In other words, Mr. President, we brought gambling into our homes. We opened our doors in our homes for gambling. Our workplaces, and even our places of worship. Tama sinabi po ni Senator Cayetano, pati mga simbahan, habang nakikinig sa sermon, naglalaro ng scatter. Pwedeng tumaya pagkagising sa umaga. Pwedeng tumaya habang nakaupo sa kubeta. Pwedeng sa gitna ng trabaho. Pwede sa biyahe pa uwi. Pati 10 oras ng gabi habang nakahiga na at patulog na sana, pwede pa rin dahil hindi naman nagsasara ang online gambling. 24/7 ito, mga kababayan. It also invites users to throw in any amount of money they want. Kahit hindi na mayaman, maengganyo ka na tumaya, mga kapatid. Kasi pwede namang 20 pesos, 50 pesos, meron nga 5 pesos at 10 pesos na taya. Ito na po, mga kababayan, ang bagong weteng. Digital na, pang-pamilya pa. Pero yung unti-unting 20 pesos, 50 pesos, lolobo po yan, Mr. President. Hanggang hindi na mamalayan ng ating mga kababayan, naubos na pala ang inipon nila sa bangko at sa GCash. Or worst, lubog na sila sa utang. Mr. President, gambling addiction is a disease. And by allowing online gambling to continue, we are essentially allowing the disease to pervade in our homes, crippling our people under the guise of harmless fun. According to the statistics of the World Casino Directory, the Philippines now holds the dubious honor of being the gambling capital of Asia. Hindi na po yung Macau. Hindi na po yung Singapore. We are now the gambling capital of Asia with 79 licensed casinos operating in the country. We even bested Cambodia with its 48 casinos and Macau with only 47. Let me repeat, Mr. President, we are now the gambling capital of Asia. Nakakahiya po ito. This is nothing to be proud of. Luho at addiction po itong pasusugal at number 1 tayo dito. Ito ba ang gusto ng ating Pangulo na maging legasiya niya paglabas po niya itong 2028, pagbaba po niya sa kanyang tungkulin bilang Pangulo? The question is, how did it come to this, Mr. President? The answer, of course, is in the numbers. In 2024, online gambling operations gave PAGCOR gross gaming revenues of over 135 billion pesos, a dramatic increase to the 33 billion gross gaming revenues of the year before. The combined e-games and e-bingo net income came to about 48.79 billion, contributing to almost 50% of PAGCOR's record high income of 112 billion. Marking a 41% increase from the 79 billion net income in 2023. From this 112 billion, Mr. President, PAGCOR was able to give 68.2 billion back to the country as contributions to nation building. I want to give you the numbers first so that I may sound objective. This year's revenues, by the way, this year's revenues are ramping up to be even bigger. For the first half alone, the gross gaming revenues for e-games have already hit 114.83 billion. First 6 months, 114.83 billion. And we are only halfway into the year, we're already sure to exceed the 135 billion gross e-game revenues last year. We can attribute the ballooning success of online gambling to PAGCOR's reduction of fees. Binabaan pa nila yung fees nila. From 35% down to 30%. A policy that took effect beginning January this year. The money that operators save in PAGCOR's fees could then be put out to other expenses like marketing, advertising, which explains why the proliferation of flashy online gambling ads with our country's biggest stars. Safe to say, online gambling operations are going to be raking in high record numbers again by year end. So they have promised, PAGCOR has promised to give more funds to government social programs such as AICS, 4Ps, MAIP, TUPAD, and all other social initiatives that the President promised in his recent State of the Nation address. Mr. President, these are good and worthy causes, no doubt. But at what cost, Mr. President? At what cost? Dapat malaman ng taong bayan na ang kinita ng PAGCOR dyan galing sa mga bulsa ng ating mga mamamayan, mga tatay, mga nanay, mga lolo at lola, ang ating mga anak at mga apo na lulong na sa sugal. Ang mga pamilyang matutumbasan ba natin ang mga buhay na nasira ng online gambling? Ang mga pamilyang nawasak, ang mga kabataan na pariwara. Shame on you, PAGCOR. Shame on you, operators of online gambling. Kung may isang Pilipino tayong tinutulungan dahil sa kinikita ng bayan sa online gambling, panigurado ako na libong-libong Pilipino ang nagdururusa ngayon at lubog sa utang dahil nalulung sa gambling. Kung may isang bata tayong mapapaaral mula sa online gambling, mas maraming mga bata rin ang hindi nakakapag-aral dahil na-addict na at kasama na kanilang mga magulang sa scatter at iba't iba pang mga laro sa kanilang cellphone. It is a vicious cycle, my dear colleagues. The government through PAGCOR earns big revenues at the expense of broken families, broken dreams. Mapapantayan po ba natin ang kita ng gobyerno sa mga buhay ng nasira at buhay na nawala dahil sa online gambling? Hindi pa ba tayo natuto sa nangyari sa e-sabong? If we do not nip this issue in the bud, and if we do not if we do not set a total ban on online gambling, we may find ourselves slowly but surely morphing into a gambling state. I do not mean a gambling capital, which we already are, my dear colleagues. I'm talking about a gambling state similar to a narco state. What do I mean by that? I mean that with the presidential and national elections in the offing come 2028, we might elect public officials aided by and beholden to online gambling lords with massive war chests and deep-seated interest in keeping our people chained to their phones, forever betting and losing. Gambling is a losing game, ika nga. Talo ang bayan at taong bayan dito. But there are few winners, and I'm not referring to the few times that you might win and make your money back on online slot machines. When I say winners, I mean the real winners are the operators. At what expense, Mr. President? Can we do it? Can we find other ways, other means, like efficient tax collection, like stopping of smuggling of agricultural products? Can't we not do that instead of just focus or create more jobs, manufacturing? Ang mangyayari po, dahil nga sa utang, ang dami natin mga kababayan, umaalis sa kanilang trabaho. Dahil nga lulong sa sugal, nangungutang, hindi nakakabayad dahil sa hiya, ay hindi nakakabalik sa kanilang trabaho, natatanggal sila sa kanilang trabaho because they're similar to addicts, like drug addicts, like shabu addicts, na humahanap ng pera kung saan-saan para makapagpusta o makapagbayad ng utang. Abay, wala mangyayari sa atin yan, Mr. President. We should not be proud of that. And I think PAGCOR should be aware, see the signs see the signs flashing all around their face that this is becoming to be a deeper epidemic, a cancer to our society.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have a lot of questions, but I will just reserve this during the committee hearings that will be conducted by the Senate. Mr. President, I would just like to point out, Mr. President, that in casinos, for example, even sa sabungan, pagka meron pong addicted na player, sine-self-exclude po nila, merong mga limits, hindi pinapapasok na, etc. Sa online, hindi po nila makikita yan. Doon sa Pogo na isinuka ng Senado, isinuka ng taong bayan, banyaga po ang kliyente, hindi Pilipino. Dito po, walang pinipiling edad, kasarian, o status sa buhay, Mr. President. Sinisira at napakarami hong examples sa society na nawasak dahil po sa gambling, Mr. President. Hindi ko po na binanggit pero I wanted to raise during the hearing yung money laundering, Mr. President. Gagamitin po dyan. Kanina po may kausap ako na mga kawani ng pamahalaan, binabanggit po nila yung mga POGO workers at mga bosses ng mga POGO ay nakashift na po sa online gambling, Mr. President. Sana matignan din po natin ito. So, Ginoong Pangulo, magtatapos po ako by saying na tunay na ang Senado ginagawa yung trabaho. Ang ating kababayan, si Senator Zubiri, talagang very passionate para iban itong online gambling at kumuha ng overwhelming support mula po sa bawat miyembro ng Senado. Nais ko pong ipahayag ang aking taus-pusong pasasalamat and at the same time, my commitment to really push for the banning of online gambling. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Senator
Mr.
Zubiri.
President. And just to a short reaction, let's make this our legacy, Majority Floor Leader. Let's make it the 20th Congress legacy na mawala na itong salot sa lipunan, itong online gambling. Kung anong ginawa po natin sa Pogo, kung anong paglaban natin dito sa Isabong na dalawang Pangulo ay nag-aksyon, Pangulong Duterte at Pangulong Marcos, dito sa dalawang gambling enterprises na ito. Let's make this our legacy for the 20th Congress, Mr. President. Let's work together on this. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay pong Senado.
Thank you, Senator Zubiri, Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we refer the privileged speech of Senator Zubiri and all the interpellations and manifestations thereon to the committees on games and amusement and economic affairs. So move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, pursuant to Rule 10, Section 13, in relation to Section 18 of the Rules of the Senate, I move that we proceed to the continuation of the organization of the various standing committees of the Senate through the election of their respective chairpersons. I so move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, this juncture I move that we elect Senator Lauren Legarda as chairperson of the Committee on Culture and the Arts. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there an objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we elect Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa as chairperson of